each of our readings contain a story about the covenant. The covenant in religious circles includes God and entails obligations on both parties. Now, in secular circles, we might use the word contract, but that still includes obligations on both of the parties making the contract. Our life in faith is grounded in a covenant with God, and it has obligations on both parties. We began this journey, this covenant journey, in the sacrament of baptism, when we were welcomed into a life of faith. And as that life of faith takes root within us and continues to be nurtured and nourished through God's word, at this table, we work at shaping a deeper relationship with God. And that begins to look very strong because it's the sacramental life of the church. Eucharist, reconciliation, confirmation. For some, marriage. For others, holy orders. These are the realities of the covenant in our life in the church. St. Paul's letter today to the Colossians is a great example of shared obligations. Always, thanksgiving is an important starting point, and that's what we heard from St. Paul. Give thanks. This is who God is. This is what God does. And Paul begins to unpack that so that we have a deeper understanding of God's place in our lives. The gospel portrays the absence of humility on the part of the rulers. They don't believe, they won't accept, and they will continue to persecute. We see the greed of wanting what he wants in one of the criminals. If you are the Christ, save yourself and us. And he's rebuked by the other criminal, who reminds him that they are getting justice. But Jesus has done no wrong. And so this man asks for forgiveness, and in a prayer asks that he might be given that hope of resurrected life. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And his prayer is answered. Today you will be with me in paradise. So let's pause now and consider what our life is in the covenant that God has established with each of us in baptism. Have you lived up to your obligations? Are you growing deeper in your relationship with God? And does this show itself in your treatment of others? This coming week, we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, a day when we give thanks to God for his presence in our life, what he's done for us, what he continues to do for us. And Thanksgiving, as Paul tells the Colossians, is a very important starting point. So I would like to encourage you to spend some time in preparation for Thanksgiving, unpacking the covenant to which each of us has been called. And I want you to consider these questions throughout the week. Have you lived up to your obligations? Are you growing deeper in your relationship with God? And does this show in your treatment of others? This is who we said we are. Are we speaking the truth?